Hello and welcome to Matt Loves Eurovision. This is my Eurovision 2026 semi-final 2 results reaction. Please do click the subscribe button, ring that notification bell and like, share and comment below. So it's about 15 minutes or so after the conclusion of the second semi-final, and just to give you my quick thoughts on who has gone through and who has not. This was the semi-final that all the commentators, all the content creators were really unsure about who were the 10 that were going to go through. We all had different versions. And in the end, I actually got 9 out of 10, which has slightly surprised me. And the one that was in, it's worked out slightly differently than I expected, but we'll talk about that as we go through. So we'll just run through kind of who are the qualifiers and the non-qualifiers in the order that we're given out. Bulgaria opened the show, first announced. Didn't think, no surprise there really. Great to see a returning country doing so well, very, very strong. Ukraine, keeping up that remarkable qualification streak and through. First sort of surprise. Now, I had Norway in my prediction. I had Norway not in because I wasn't really convinced that you could have every song in that last run of songs qualifying, because it doesn't happen very often. In the end, it did this time. It didn't really surprise me. And I do think he does give a really good, engaging performance. It came across well on TV. So that didn't surprise me at all, that did qualify in the end. So admittedly, the country that I thought wouldn't qualify because Norway qualified also qualified, but we'll come on to that in a bit. Australia, I suspect that probably won the semi-final. I still think the song is a bit mid, but she's a consummate professional, very good vocal, and I'm sure I suspect it probably won the semi-final. Romania, really good, really popular with fans, and that's through to the through again. And again, that means all three of the returning countries are through to the grand final. I think that is great for the contest. And then I'm super delighted, Malta is through. I was getting a little bit nervous about Malta, because although Malta's got the juries this time, I was worried about the televote and coming straight after Albania. So really pleased for Malta to get through. Then Cyprus. Now, Cyprus I had in because Cyprus has been near the top of the scoreboard in terms of the Eurovision fans. It's been doing well in Eurovision. It's been doing all well in all the polls. But it started to slide in some of the betting kind of recently because of the live performances. And watching it, it was appalling. I'm sorry, that vocal was shocking. And it just wasn't a very lively performance I've seen. It's just that kind of sort of song been done so much better. And even amongst my voting group, my husband created an app, there's about 14 of us voted, mostly gays. You'd think this is exactly the sort of thing we'd like. It came second from bottom. And I think the fandom that just must have pushed this through because it was a shocking performance. It was shocking. Anyway, I did say that Cyprus would go through. I just hadn't expected it to go through after seeing what I saw this evening. Anyway, sorry if you're a Cyprus fan, but that's just my view. Albania, I'm certain that was going through. It was really strong vocal, very easy to understand what the song was about with the subtitles and the staging and the big Albanian diaspora. Denmark was called penultimately. There was a little bit hairy moment there because Denmark, one of the favourites, I know people, my husband and my husband's friend were not so keen on it. I still like Denmark a lot. Maybe the performance lacked something, I don't know. Maybe it was just where it fell in the running order. I still think it's an excellent song and really good staging. Maybe we just need to up it a little bit for the grand final. And then last called, one of my favourites, and actually probably my favourite tonight, because although Denmark wasn't my number 2, I think I would have probably put Czechia my number 1, if just based on this evening's performance. That was such beautiful. I've said he's like John's Tears. This was that sort of performance, and so assured and such beautiful vocal. I loved it, and very, very pleased and relieved that got through. So that means we have to sadly say goodbye to 5 songs, and I do feel that I always felt this was 14 of 15 songs could qualify. The song that I didn't think could qualify, indeed did not qualify, and that was Azerbaijan. Just fairly standard ballad, nothing special, vocal okay. They need to do something more. Luxembourg didn't qualify. doesn't surprise me that much. I think the vocal was a bit, I don't know, grates with me slightly. Beautiful staging, really nice staging, but a little bit junior Eurovision paper they were voting. Armenia did not get through. Now, Armenia was the one that I had said would get through, just because I'd felt on the strength of their televote that they tend to get. But I have to say, watching tonight, his vocal was not great, although it's all mostly about the dancing, and it wasn't very clear, and I just thought he's probably had an awful jury vote. And it just felt, no, not sure this is going to work. And indeed, Armenia has not qualified, which means we have no country from the Caucasus this year. No Armenia, no Azerbaijan, and no Georgia. Also not getting through was Switzerland, one of the great successes of the contest. They've been so good at qualifying. It was a high-quality song, high-quality staging, but I suspect just struggled to engage with. I suspect it struggled to engage with televote. I don't know about the jury. I just think there were so many things for the jury could vote for. Maybe just got lost in that. And I think that also goes for the last non-qualifier, which I'm really sad about because it's in my top 10, Latvia. I had a feeling this wouldn't go through, even it's a really beautiful song, beautifully sung. But I just felt that, again, juries have got multiple songs that they can vote for, and it just wasn't necessarily going to be a televote friendly song, and in the running order where it was as well. So very sad to say Latvia go. But as I said, 14 or 15 could have easily qualified, I think, with this. So, but there we go. And we had the automatic qualifiers. France, extremely professional, very good singing. A little bit, still leaves me a little bit like, oh, it's West End, or West End Paris, come stage. Austria, I don't know. I quite enjoy it in a way, but I don't know the way where it's going to fall in the running order is going to be interesting to see. And then Look Mum New Computer seems to be bonkers and I've already seen very polarised views of it, which is good because some people really liked it and some people hated it, and it's like, well, maybe that's better. I hope he gets some points. He's funny. He's really good, and there's lots of it. It's inventive and quirky, but we'll see. Anyway, that's a very quick summary. I'm going down to London for Eurovision for a big party at the weekend, which means I will not be recording. So I am hoping that the running order comes out at some point this evening, and I will do a very early morning grand final preview. And then once I'm back from London on Sunday evening, I will do a kind of review of how the grand final went. But obviously, let me know in your comments what disappointed you that went through and what disappointed you that didn't go through. Let me know as always, and join me again soon when we do the grand final preview. Take care.